The year is 1962. The artists are Bob Booker and Earl Dowd, although we more think of Von Meter as the star of the album. His name is the biggest on the cover.
It is, but it's sort of like the album is presented like the film poster. You don't advertise the writer director as the main draw.
That's absolutely true.
Unless it's Coppola.
Right. But the name of the album is The First Family. And it's a shock that this far in, this is the first time we're talking about it. Like, we haven't really talked about it much at all.
No, but it's one you hear about all the time. I was watching on the 50th anniversary of the Kennedy assassination, PBS, everybody had Kennedy documentaries. And yeah, like one of them just had an entire chunk just about the first family. Like really? That's how enmeshed in the Camelot mythos this thing got.
Yeah. Well, I mean, supposedly, Kennedy bought 100 copies of it and gave them out as Christmas presents, and really dug it. But I mean, that means so if the White House had an estate sale, because every time I go to an estate sale, I went, okay, so the copy that we have right here, which is it's a pretty iconic cover. It's Von Meter and all the other actors all portraying one of their many parts in the album.
Yes,
in front of the White House.
We've got Jack and Jackie. Mm-hmm. We've got the nurse character who makes one appearance. I believe that must be the man answering one of the men answering the door.
Yes, I believe so.
And is that LBJ?
And this is Earl Dowd, if I'm remembering correctly. So my assumption is that's Bob Booker, but I could actually be completely wrong. I'm assuming
that's Caroline.
Yeah, that's Caroline. And he's
that's John. Okay.
Oh yes, right, because there's a whole bit with him in it too. Yeah, it's a good. I mean so I was just at my regular record shop getting my car fixed, and I knew we were going to talk about this. I wasn't looking for this in their 50-cent pile. Did I tell you how many copies of this I found just in their 50-cent pile the other day?
Like a dozen?
5.
Oh,
but
5.
5 is enough in that big of a...
That pile.
And that was like the only comedy outside of like this blooper album that I bought, and the rest of it was just kind of random shit that's sort of...
I was at a record swap, which I don't really go to very often. Mm-hmm. My friends dig it, and I'm like, I'm just declining, not because I don't have a freaking player, man. Yeah. It's just not cost effective for me. Right. But I went once, and I got they were all like dollar bargains, one of those, and I got like 8 pieces at a dollar, just all obscure old comedy. Yeah. One of which was First Family Rides Again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have that yet. Maybe.
But see, I gotta imagine it's like, and how many people do you think have wanted to try since then? Like, you could try this with any administration since. But it's like it would never be the same. Like this one was like, wow, but
SNL took over. That was the big thing. I mean, this is not hard hitting at all. It's fluffy comedy.
It's very fluffy.
And that's what the intention, which is why it is odd, it's not odd or unsurprising necessarily that, and we'll get to this, that the sales obviously dropped dramatically when JFK died. Although I think if that were to happen now, God forbid our president gets assassinated and there's some big bit, I feel like it would sell more because of our obsessive morbid curiosity with these things.
And we have we have a shorter like you think about well, it's different versus a political leader, but I mean you think about a musician and their albums go up, but or Robin Williams movies.
Sure.
But it was like right away now. Everybody just wanted to. God, what would if? Well, now I have to picture the Obama bit, and I'm thinking Key and Peele over.
Over SNL, absolutely.
I think it's the one where he's doing a meet and greet, and he's either talking to a black person or a white person, and his tone's completely different.
It's fantastic, and that it's comparable too, because I mean it's not that they can't get critical, but it is they're very soft on him. It's not, they don't get too hard on Obama in those bits, and this is very they're cute. The satire's cute. There's not a lot that's I mean there's bits about it's interesting because they do talk obviously about Cuba and stuff, and this was actually recorded the night that the Cuban Missile Crisis announcement was made on TV. Nobody knew that was going on.
You've got to be kidding me. So you found the date.
Yeah, well, I found the date they recorded it. They recorded it October, recorded 10/22/62. And so then it would have been released very not long after that. I don't have it. Doesn't. That's the weird thing. It does not have an exact date that it was released.
But
just a year.
They had to wait on it at least 13 days, I'd imagine.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh my God! Imagine if it had gone differently and they were never able to release this.
Right. Yeah. Or their big thing was like, well, we wouldn't have gotten the audience reaction because everybody would have been worried that they were going to fucking die. There would have been no laughs.
That's what I was. That's what I was trying to figure out watching it, because it opens with since 1960 this completely average American family in Hyannisport has been participating in an experiment. And I'm like, okay, we're doing this in 60, 61. Right. Okay, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. There's enough time for a lot of these. But it's not even like you're right, it is very light. It's like a lot of it. Mm-hmm. It's like when you watch the cold open on SNL, and if you didn't watch the news that week, you're not going to know the specific thing. Like,
for sure.
There's nothing more to make fun of than like this is a mannerism in which he's going to speak. And so that's where the jokes will.
That's exactly right. That's 100% right.
Yeah, like now we're going to talk about Russia. We're going to talk about Syria this week. It's not like it's not a larger scope than that.
No,
it didn't need to be.
I feel like also I just totally realized there's some context dropping because we're assuming everybody knows what we're talking about. This is, I mean, we described the cover, but it's the Kennedys. That's why it's called The First Family.
Hence, we're talking about Obama.
Exactly right. So it's sketches, sort of interview style about the Kennedys, and so that's it. But that's exactly right. I was reading that somebody, like, one of the big things they praised Von Meter about was being able to pull a big reaction or a bigger joke out of a smaller joke just by doing the voice just right and like pulling it out that way. And that's exactly what you're talking about. That's where a lot of it lives, is in that voice. Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah,
it's all just kind of on a surface level of because they're doing stuff in 62, when they're all sitting down having lunch, all the world leaders, like, I had to think back to U.S. history class, and there were 3 or 4 of them, like, I don't know who those people are. I forgot who, Adenauer?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I was like, okay, I can kind of remember a little
names sound familiar, but I was fucking lost beyond Khrushchev and one or two others.
But see, that's the... I think it still holds up in a way. It's not like people are like this is in the clearance bin right now. Right. But when you listen to it again now, it still works on a certain level because they use those references as like for the audience of the time to be like, here are all the characters you recognize, like the simple appearance, everybody's first appearance. Bobby, Lyndon, it's just a like they're a laugh just for showing up because they're the names you hear in the news of the time.
For sure.
And the scope of the game of every single one of the sketches is nothing more than just them as the people in the news, so we're literally just going to try and have them do the most like banal, normal family stuff as possible. That's where every punchline comes from.
Yeah. And the most quoted, or one of the biggest lines off the album, is when JFK's doing this thing where he's talking to the family about the toys in the bathtub, saying, "But the swan is mine." And apparently that was the biggest, like, a catchphrase. That was the SNL catchphrase of this thing.
He's got all the toys.
The rubbish swan.
And let me speak for a minute on distribution of those toys.
So
half for Bob, Johnny, half for Caroline.
There are a couple bits in it too where I didn't realize that, like, the phrase let me say about that was his. I didn't realize that went back to him.
I didn't. Wait, that went back to Von Meter. He says a lot.
At least to JFK. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm assuming because a lot of this was directly ripped, at least from his verbiage and his speeches and shit. There were a couple things in there, like him saying "Viga" was also another big one that they really.
Viga.
That was a big catchphrase too, which is so weird.
And I think you know why. It's my ball.
It's so fucking great. Like, those are my favorite parts too. Like, the ones obviously that are way above my head are just like, I get why this is funny. I get that, like, the Mayo Mao joke was okay. Like, don't say Mayo.
But see, that was the one that I got. You know,
100%, 100%. Was there one Khrushchev joke I might have gotten? I wrote down Khrushchev.
The shoe on the table.
I totally even missed that. I think because I listened to this while I was, doing something else, and I missed that one. Well, that's fucking great. That's fucking fantastic. I didn't even hear that one.
He does it twice. He's just...
Let's see. So, all right. So, it sold 1.2 million copies in the first 2 weeks. That's how big this was. And
1.2 million
in the first
in
2
60.
weeks.
The population of the entire planet has doubled since 1962.
Right.
And back then, it sold 1.2 million copies.
Yep. That's in the first 2 weeks. All told, by the time they released the second First Family album, which was like not long after, not even a year after, they had sold 7.5 million copies. So this was a mind-blowing record-setting album for years.
Oh my God, they were. No wonder we don't talk about the second one, because if they released the second one literally right about a year after, that was weeks before the assassination.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm speaking to you from a typical American home in Hyannisport, Massachusetts. Since January of 1960, this family of smiling and happy people have undergone a change. You might say they've been engaged in a new and different type of experiment. Sir, as head of this average family, what was this new experience undergone by you and the members of your household?
Well, after 2 years of brushing with the Crest toothpaste, our group had 21% fewer cavities with Crest.
That is the other thing. So it gets released. I mean, this got a Grammy. This got a Grammy for Best Album, which is like this. This is the time when that could actually still happen. He's assassinated, and Von Meter finds out about that, and I think he said he was in a cab. I don't remember where he was. He was in some city, but he finds out about it and just walks to a bar and starts drinking. And apparently, where's the quote?
That's the nature of this business.
Exactly right. I got to pull the quote out. I was talking with Dan Pasternak the other day, because I told him we were going to do this album, and he said apparently that night Lenny Bruce gets on stage, like the night of the assassination, he says, well, Von Meter's fucked. So, that's the first thing he says about the whole fucking thing.
That answers your question about what would we do if something happened. Would we still be able to listen to like the if something happened? I'd be watching Key and Peele sketches, because like you can't. People, there are people, and like as the years have gone by, we found out there are people who make 9/11 jokes on stage right away.
Yeah. There are ways to do it and ways to not do it, but
right.
yes.
But now that we have now with the internet, the full scope would become apparent a lot quicker.
That's absolutely true. And so he's all right.
You're pouring water from a larger bottle into a smaller mason jar,
a very tiny,
baby mason jar. You're doing it in the way like you're pouring whiskey.
It is. It did kind of look that way,
which I like, because we're talking about the '60s. But
it's very Mad Men of me.
But you're also hydrating, which is...
It's very important. It's very warm today. This is one of the warmer days of this. I was really looking... I was like, this is going to be a cold summer. Like, it's going to be... That never fucking happens. What am I thinking?
This is Burbank, California.
Oh, is that where we are?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Historic Burbank.
Historic Burbank.
Yeah.
Historic, beautiful downtown Burbank, California.
And beautiful downtown Burbank, California.
I actually wrote it out phonetically. The Rubbish Swan is mine. I wrote that out. Just so I make sure that I got it right. I don't know, those bits still work even if you don't like. I still a friend with this person. If you don't know what it is, you're gonna know it from The Simpsons. I mean, I had a friend we were playing Cranium once, and so I do my JFK, and they thought I was doing Quimby, and I'm like, fuck, that's how far out we are, son of a bitch. What are we gonna do? Like, I didn't want to be mean. I'm like. So, okay, right? How old would you guess Von Meter was when he did this? I mean, you got pictures there,
I got a picture on the thing. There's more pictures on the back. Maybe I could check out. Yeah. Where they recorded it live. How you do the... hey, I'm an impersonator. Impersonators probably had a better go of it.
That's probably
in the audio era.
He did.
Although he does kind of look like
enough,
him.
yeah. And apparently he pulled it off a lot with the expressions too.
Yeah.
He did that on Sullivan and stuff. Like that was another thing. Like this hits, and like he was just doing it at bars and shit. 'Cause he was like kind of a stand-up. He was a musician first, then kind of a stand-up, and he's doing this. Somebody hears it, and they're like, "Fuck, we're doing this album," and they put him in the album, and then he's on Ed Sullivan the next week. You know.
Was he pretty young? Was he just like
27?
He's like 27. Okay,
27 years old.
Okay, that sounds.
But he's 27 years old, and then like. it sounds like I'm exaggerating, and I really thought I would be if there are a couple things happen. He does the second album. Okay, they prep the second fucking album. He has in the can, and I don't think this exists anywhere, a JFK Christmas single. But yeah,
Whoa.
I want to know what this is. What the fuck is it? Like, is there some play on Red and Kami? Like, or is it? I don't even think it would get that. It would just be cute. It would be cuter than that.
Wait. In 62 or 63?
63, right before it happens.
So
this is all ready to go. Impressed. He dies.
You gotta wonder what the turnaround time was, but this is answering the question right here.
Yeah. Like, and they pull that. Don't know where that album is. Probably got destroyed because every existing copy of First Family at this point that wasn't one of the 7.5 million sold was destroyed. Every copy of the second one that wasn't sold was destroyed. They might have done that with this too, and his fucking career is over at 28, 29.
What a what's the like skyrocket, rise and fall, just meteoric rise and fall.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. Ooh, like that's a lot to handle.
Yeah, when that's all you're known for.
Like I could you're like, maybe I'd spent a bunch of years doing all right in some other capacity, but no, I get pinned to do this one thing and then this one. It's like, and at the time, we can talk about this because it's been over 50 years.
Sure.
You can't say like, well, unless you're Lenny Bruce, but you can't say like, oh, well, let's think about this. This one person is fucked. Let's all like feel bad about that. Mm-hmm. No, we're kind of a little bit preoccupied with the President of the United States being assassinated.
Yep.
But now we can be like, there's a larger. Just look at the more human impacts of that. Like
for sure. Like and so I went through to, and I decided I wanted to see if there were any like personal accounts of his life, because there's a documentary that came out a couple years ago after he died in 2004. He was only 68, but he died like a happy married man, and he was doing mostly what he loved. He was doing bluegrass music and stuff. So like he eventually settled into having a real life, but he was, after this, fucking alcohol, cocaine, heroin, like the works. He fucking talks about going. He was took a cab in Chicago, and out of nowhere the cabbie stabs him, and then he just wakes up after passing out, like doesn't know what happened, like just the worst. Like the look on your face describes what I was thinking when I read it. I'm like, this poor motherfucker. Not only like everybody knew him, you know what I mean? Like for a period of a year and a half, 2 years, everybody knew this guy.
Well, I had no idea.
I know.
But it's like you're listening to this album, and I would have loved to have listened to it in 62 or 63 and been like, my God, this is a stitch, and it's spot on, like good on ya. Mm-hmm. Because you can't listen to it. You can listen to it now and appreciate the comedy. It's very well written and very well structured in terms of length and variation of the sketches as the album progresses. Mm-hmm. But you can't, and you forget about between 60 and 63. There was all this stuff about just daily life of the Kennedys.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was the talk of the town.
Yeah.
I know the tour of the White House sketch. That
is my favorite bit on
because of in like season 3 of Mad Men.
Did they do this on there?
No, they don't reference the album. But at one point, I think Betty is watching Jackie's real like on camera tour of the.
Okay.
So I knew that was a thing.
Yes, okay.
But you can't, and you want it, and then I tried to write a spec Mad Men that year, which was just the stupidest idea.
Who cares?
Because and so I was watching a lot of Kennedy interviews, and you're like, man, like all this was going on. You can dive back into all the contextual details. You can see like life as lived was happening, but you can't look at any of it, and it blows your mind. But you can't look at any of it without being like, man's gonna die, and it's just sad. There's just a tinge of sadness on everything, and
absolutely.
And then even when they do the little joke about little baby Johnny, dude's
right?
also gonna have a tragic end.
Okay, but that's just it. Look at this cover, okay, and everybody is dead prematurely. I mean, Jackie O got to live a long life, right? But everybody died except for Caroline, and
Yeah.
But they all died mostly tragic deaths, and Jackie's was a sad one.
Even if Jackie was, lived longer,
yeah,
there was still a moment when I'm listening to it and she's talking, and all I can see in my head is that stark black and white image on the plane of her in tears and LBJ being sworn in.
Yeah.
Like, and then, like, I don't know, like, Kennedy's tragedy, like, it happened, we know this, but this weird postmodern implication that led to Von Meter is just bizarre.
Yeah.
That line of impersonators and the people they're impersonating in the lives. Where's the line? Where does it end? Where does it begin?
And Von Meter, you don't know this, had a secretary named Lincoln. That's not true. But yeah, it's absolutely...
He drove a Lincoln.
Yeah, there you go. He drove a Lincoln, of all things.
No, he drove a Ford.
There we go. Would you mind handing me it? Because you know what I didn't look at is any of the liner notes or shit on the back, because...
yeah, I kind of want to read it.
Yeah, there's not a lot... this album is for fun. Things are being suggested and said here about some of the great people of our time. And there you go. The first couple sentences here of the liner notes are just reverent immediately. They're like, "Hey, we're not making fun. We're having fun, guys." And mostly it's not the specifics of the political stuff that they're saying that are funny. It's the idea of these political things happening. It's just like, isn't it funny? This is how we relate to this country, or this is how we. There's this one bit I like where Caroline's asking him to tell her a bedtime story. And he's like, well, there's this handsome prince with wonderful hair, and just goes on like this awful scary bear from the north.
he said long hair, and so I thought.
Oh, he did say long hair,
which I was thrown about for a minute.
You're
because
right.
I'm picturing.
I guess he was a long hair at the time, wasn't he? I guess comparatively,
I guess
maybe.
He was.
Even though being a military fucking hero, which is the other weird thing.
Yeah,
too.
he said great warrior. I'm like, see. I don't think of Kennedy as military hero, even though that's how he got elected.
Right.
I think but when we talked about the prince from the South Island in the South with the black beard and then the big bear from the Far East, I was like, okay, I get what we're talking about.
Next question.
Yes, I should like to ask a question regarding the Daily Bath.
Identify yourself, please.
I'm the house nurse.
All right, nurse. Move ahead with your question.
Well, there seems to be some confusion as to the toys to be taken into the bathtub. Now, Caroline's toys are getting mixed up with John's, and I should like to know once and for all whose toys are who.
Yes, well, let me make a judgment about that now. The following toys have been appropriated for tub use. 18 PT boats, 3 Yogi Bear beach balls, 2 Howdy Doody plastic bouncing clowns, a ball of silly putty, and a rubber swan. Now, let me make a judgment on the dispersal of these items. 9 of the PT boats, 2 of the Yogi Bear beach balls, the ball of silly putty belong to Caroline. 9 of the PT boats, 1 of the Yogi Bear beach balls, and the 2 Howdy Doody plastic bouncing clowns are Baby John's. The rubber swan is mine.
That is the interesting thing too. Is I feel like the more bitter portrayal Castro is like maybe the one that they're, I mean, disregarding all of the insensitive racial portrayals. They're not horrible, by the way. They're like, for 1963, this is some fairly sensitive accent work.
Right.
Even with the Asian guys, but like.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, right. Exactly. A lot of that.
That
shit.
was it.
But.
Mr. Shanghai Shek over there will have the club sandwich. Would you like any mayo with that? Do not say his name!
Yep, that's right. That's the bit. Oh, fuck. Oh, here's another weird thing. I'm sorry, I'm going to get distracted. Oh, actually, let me pull this out real quick.
Go right ahead. And
I have
in the meantime, we can discuss the ramifications of Russian...
Is it? It was
military movements in the 60s.
I was going to present you with the unofficial sequel, which is the JFK Memorial album that I have sitting around somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Which also super common. You can find those all the time. It's just his official presidential portrait and blah 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 blah. This is interesting.
I was digging once and found like an album of just speeches, just like the clips of the speeches. You can just have an album of that.
Yeah.
Now, what we were saying about the...
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm so sorry, Alex. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Yes. And let me say this about that.
He was also doing Bobby. Am I wrong? Like, he just slightly shifted it, and he's doing like a Bobby.
Well, in that clip where Kennedy himself's talking about it, he's like, I listened to Mr. Mita's performance there, and I thought it was very good. I thought he sounded more like Bobby.
Yeah, right.
No, he's like, I thought he sounded more like Ted.
Yeah,
Is what he said.
It's fucking fantastic.
But it's funny you mentioned the bedtime story to Caroline, because I was thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty simple. You think about like the culture, like you can tell a bedtime story about princes and warriors, and like it's just the same as the storybooks, and it's not quite so split up like it would be now. Like you can make those very, very simple epic literary comparisons, like this leader is this leader from this story. But it makes you think, like, the Iliad and the Odyssey is just like, that's exactly what they're doing here when it's like when they're introducing a character. It's like, it's a name from the headlines. Sure. In like the Odyssey, when they're like, oh, and we've referenced that guy who from the Iliad. And they're like, oh my god, that guy. Or even when they're like, in like you read like the long, like the sprawling stanzas of like and these people from this province in Greece or whatever, because people would be in the audience, be like, yeah, what up, Crete, represent, like, right, throw it up.
You're probably right. That's the whole
point of those illusions, like the way they structure it.
But it's hard too to walk that line of, am I just going to be referencing shit you recognize, or can I do anything? And they do, like, they use basic comedy tropes to make that shit work.
They do. A lot of it could have been 30 seconds of setup for one punchline. Yeah, I think most of the bits average like 15 to 30 seconds of setup, which is fine, because it only took the first 30, 60 seconds to hit it once and you got it, and then as long as they just keep it up through the album, which they do, it works. Like at first I didn't like the tour sketch, but that one and the lunch sketch, the two longest pieces on the album, towards the end of the album, it's like they changed the game a couple of times. There wasn't the rest of them. They just had the one thing we were setting up to.
Right.
Thematically, every game in every sketch is just about putting a very realistic, normal, everyday situation over the framework of these larger than life characters. But in those two particular sketches, I liked it because they changed up. It was like the callbacks of the tour.
Oh my god!
Like the language she would use. She did a great job. She did a very good job.
She wasn't an actress either. Like,
really?
She's like she was a model before this, and didn't really do much after either. It's not that she didn't have a name, but she was not like an actress. She just did. I found somebody in the phone book with her same exact name, and she could still be around.
Naomi
Brossart or Brossart. However it's pronounced. There's that bit, like, they do in the tour, they're just recycling, but like, and it does that kind of like, all right, and it does pick back up towards the end. She's talking about, just to give the people an idea, she's talking about, and this room was a gift from the blah blah blah, and then it just gets more and more absurd till at the very end they say that's something about your husband, we decided to leave him just the way he was.
This is the blue room. I think yes, it's definitely the blue room, and we decided to leave it exactly the way it was when President Blue was in office.
Just so ridiculous.
Which was a gift from Mr. and Mrs. Howard Washington of Duluth, Minnesota.
And then there's something dusty, and she said, yes, that dust was a gift from... It's so dumb.
But they led you in. The first punch was the, and if your cameraman will follow us through these oak doors into the mural room. Now over here you... And I do wish they had opened the oak doors before they went in. It was a gift. Until about 15 seconds ago.
That might be the only bit that uses sound effects too, because there's some smashing glass or smashing
Well,
something else.
that's what I was wondering. There's a lot of closing doors and walking away, which I imagine there is in just audio sketches in general, especially presented live.
Yeah.
You know what? I imagine their setup pretty darn, like, even look at these pictures, pretty darn similar to our setup. This is actors with scripts in like a notebook on a stage.
Yeah.
With microphones because it's being recorded, but
I really do like that picture of Von Meter at the top. It's very JFK. They picked a very good pose.
He's pensive. He's like, his brow is furrowed. He's got his left hand raised up in front of his face and his index finger like pointed on his forehead, like, oh boy, yeah. Well, no, what did you say? We went talking about the mighty warrior with the great hair, and the prince with the black beard from the island south. If they were recording this on the night the crisis was announced,
exactly right.
You're like, I was like, okay, cool. Like, I think of Kennedy, I think of Castro and Khrushchev.
Sure.
But they had all this other stuff about Chiang Kai-shek and Ben Gurion.
Yes, Ben Gurion.
Ben Gurion and plenty of other world and De Gaulle, world leaders and other things going on. But that's what I was wondering. I was like, are we into it yet? Because how bad was it before that? I'm sure it's been pretty bad.
Well, and to the point where, and I'm trying to find the note where, oh, I'm sorry. No, it's the wrong one. I'm sorry. Well, I was thinking it was a Castro gag, but it was the Khrushchev thing where people just fucking roared at that was the biggest
calling
laugh
him
of
the
the
bear.
whole thing. Yeah. Well, no, I think it was the bit. I think I did hear the bit with the shoe because they just fucking went nuts. I mean, it was also his thumping, but people were also roaring.
Well, I think it was. Well, you're listening to an audio recording of a live performance of an audio recording in 1962, and there are just moments where you can tell, like you have to double back. Like, are they laughing at a facial expression the actor made that I don't get to hear? Yeah. But the audience who bought the record, they don't get to know that.
They're really doing a drinking game without the beer, and we don't know this without the beer. It's just sit down, fucking fantastic shit.
It would have to be incredibly well written for us to do it without the beer.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. But yeah, I just can't imagine that there's this whole, everybody's about to learn to duck and cover, and
yeah,
you know,
and they want to laugh about paintings in the Blue Room.
yeah.
Could you? Yeah. And could you point them out for us? Why, yes. There's this one.
Hey everybody, just a quick break to let you know that Stolen Dress Entertainment has a new podcast coming out this Thursday, the 21st. It's actually the first spin-off podcast that we're doing. It's a spin-off of this podcast, of Comedy on Vinyl, and it's hosted by Comedy on Vinyl's very own producer, Mike Warden. The show is called The Cast, and Mike discusses each week a favorite Broadway cast album with that week's guest. And I'm proud that I was his first guest. I got to pick my favorite Broadway cast album, and so I picked The Producers. So check it out this week. It'll be on iTunes shortly as well, but go to stolendress.com, look under podcasts. The Cast with Mike Warden will be on there, and the first new episode will post this Thursday, the 21st, so let us know what you think.
As we go, I should like to point out the various paintings on the wall.
Yes, I wish you would point them out.
Well, there's this one, and this one. And that great big one over there. And this little teeny one down here. And finally, this one over here.
Thank you for pointing them out. What's in this room over here?
I believe we are standing in front of the President Monroe Conference Room.
Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine, we are lost.
It's so easy to get confused. It's such a big house. Now I believe straight ahead of us is the Blue Room. Yes, this is the Blue Room. We decided to leave it just the way President Blue had it originally. Now we are in the East Wing. This is the section we are having completely remodeled. All the rooms are being changed around.
Yes, the carpenters certainly are busy, aren't they?
Aren't they, though? And those carpenters were a gift from Mr. and Mrs. Al Bianchi of Hayworth, New Jersey. I find it quite easy to get lost in this section.
Thank you very much for pointing them out.
Yeah, there's a lot of him cutting her off too, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
These guys were, and I think they did this before they did any of those, but they became famous for this. But a lot of the stuff they did later on was a mix of either trying to recapture this kind of thing, but also doing the cutting in real interviews with their questions. That kind of thing. They didn't invent it, but they popularized that. I've got a bunch of like Nixon. There are a ton of. I've got like 7 or 8 Nixon albums that were all very similar. Nixon or Agnew albums. It just became a thing. Like you just.
I bet.
You know what I mean?
Well, you think about you think there's like, yeah, which this is fluff comedy. There's enough material for an international bestseller on this album.
Yeah.
Just imagine the Nixon years.
Right.
I had to think about it when she was like past the Woodrow Wilson drinking room, and then through the Richard Nixon dumbwaiter.
Yes,
and I was like,
that.
wait, T.O. right now. What's Nixon up to in '62? What do we? We're post Checkers speech, right? Okay, that's what it was. I just had to. You really can't remove yourself from the full context of history there.
Yeah.
Which is the main problem with dated comedy.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's, you're trying, but there's right ways, there's better ways to do it. There's stronger choices you can make with it. But that's what you're up against.
That's absolutely right. With something like this, like it's hard. This is one of those that I try. Sorry about that. I apologize again, Alex. I'm so sorry.
I'm very sorry
for the coughing. But like you try and put yourself in that headspace and the same space like you are when you're a kid laughing at whatever your parents are laughing at. Like I do try and follow along with the audience. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get some context laughs here. I'm just like, I'll get what I get, but I hope I'm gonna try and enjoy it as much as Like, it's an acting exercise. Like that's what I have to do with this old shit sometimes.
I know this so well. It's like, okay, this is a renowned thing. This is a celebrated thing by many people. Not I know this is recognized. So I have to enjoy this naturally, or I'm doing it wrong. Exactly. And you're right. You're right. We learned this as kids. You're like they're watching the Tonight Show, and you're like. Oh great! Nobody's told me to go to bed yet. Nobody's definitively said I must. So I'm just gonna sort of peek in. Okay, wow, that man has an interesting chin. And okay, oh my God, it's that guy from that movie, and they're talking about like. I have no idea what they're talking about. They're talking about news of the day, or innuendo, or like a little suggestive nudge and a wink and all that. And you're like, haha, like that forced laugh. That like.
Yep.
Oh.
But we learn so much about like what you can learn a whole lot about what makes comedy work if you're laughing along sometimes. You'll at least about the rhythms of like what makes shit funny. Like if you're learning the rhythms of the comedy, you're learning, well, that must have been a punchline. Like it's a very weird, you know what I mean? It's different now, but I still I'll do that if I have to. To enjoy something. Not that I had to try that hard. I think there are enough good bits on this that it is worth listening to if you don't get it.
Yeah, There really were not even too many moments where it was like, I do not get that because I am 2015 man. And there was a lot of like, now I'm curious. I'm curious what was going on right now, and we answer that right up top.
Like it's just like it's interesting that it's at this weird crossroads. Politically, it's at this weird point historically in terms of we're gonna lose it's the first assassination in God knows how many years, and it's just this huge this huge earthquake moment, and also on the smaller end of things, but just as important to him, the fucking loss of man's entire career who ends up doing bluegrass after this instead. It's just so like he did come.
Like Martin Short. No, he's like Rick Moranis.
Yeah, a little bit.
Went down the bluegrass path later on. Well, yeah. No, continue. I'm just in awe. I'm in awe. Like,
The thing is, like, a Dowd and Booker could go and do more because they weren't doing JFK's voice. They're the writers, you know.
It's interesting that they tried to just make sure they were trying to recapture that. You get that one big hit, you know, you gotta recapture that, but you can't. That was the whole point. Like in the middle of that political crossroads, everybody just wants some fluff laugh.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think of a comparison now, and I mean, like, it's funny because that's what they'll do on SNL and political comedy, and that's not the shit that hits lately. You know?
Yeah.
For a while, I mean, like I think of great political SNL stuff, and it stops off. It was more relevant back then. We were talking about, I know this is good, but either it's like it's I'm removed from it time wise or age wise. And I think like a couple years back, I got season 1 SNL on DVD, and I sit down and I pop in the pilot. I'm jiving on everything Carlin says, and I'm waiting for Andy Kaufman because I've seen Man on the Moon and I know that's coming. And then they do the Wolverine sketch, and I gotta tell you, you're right. You're like, he teaches you a lot about the rhythms of what makes something funny. Because like I couldn't help but think, I'm like, is there like this 1975 mind that like everybody had that I don't have, that like I can't get this, and everybody talks, everybody says this is the greatest stuff, so there has to be something to it. But well, no, go ahead.
No, I didn't have anything.
Okay.
You assumed.
Well, you made a.
I was about to cough because there's something in my fucking throat.
Hey, take your time. Drink more whiskey water.
Drink more whiskey water.
Well, I think about the political. Go ahead. If you want to comment, please throw in. I'm so sorry, Jason. I terribly sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Well, I think about them doing biting political. I mean, they had the mantle at one point that then Jon Stewart has now, and is literally like ungrasping. He's like in the act of ungrasping right now, and he was like, I think John Oliver's got it. Sure. Because I'm like, we'll see what's gonna happen. I think YouTube's got it. I think podcasts have it. God knows where it's gonna go next year. But SNL was known for having it for a long time, and before that, Booker and Dowd. But one of the last like great political things I'm thinking of on SNL is the Bush and Gore debate sketch. Oh yeah. That's one of those like where it was still just they were taking all the specific references where if you didn't watch this one thing this week, you're not going to get any of the jokes. Yeah, absolutely. But it was still pertinent. Now, this makes me think of this interview with Lorne Michaels I was reading where he was talking about how he was asking him about like the evolution of political comedy on SNL, and he's like, you know, they don't love doing a lot of political stuff right now. They'll do it in more that like celebrity culture, like you talk about Barack and Michelle the way you talk about Jay-Z and Beyonce, right. Because comedy in the 70s and 80s, the culture was all about the news happening. Sure. Political events overseas were what was happening. Now, if you want to reach that larger audience, it's all about the ways in which people live their lives. Like, you're better off making jokes about Chipotle and iPhones. Yeah. That is what's in your daily interaction. So they don't need to do broad sweeping new stuff every day.
That's interesting, and it's not dissimilar to this. I mean, it's the same kind of thing is going. The fluff is probably one of the reasons it's reemerging. Is this like? I mean, we could go for hours talking about what post-war America was like at the time, but I'm sure we're settling back into the same kind of comfort that these people felt. I mean, honestly, he makes this little joke because there's all the bathtub shit, and one of the jokes is just a lot of jokes about a PT-109 because he saved his big thing. The reason he was a war hero is because he saved as many of his men as he could off of PT-109.
Oh, great! I did not get that.
I had to look it up.
It was funny. He did the unusual thing to me was the PT boats, but he led with that, and then the howdy doody, and then the Yogi Bear beach balls. In the howdy doody, I don't know what that. And then
the specificity there is great, and those work because those
one egg of silly putty.
Lasted. Yeah, right. Those are all. That's weird. Those are all pop culture references that are still around. Like, we know what Howdy Doody is enough. We know who Yogi Bear is, because thanks to T.J. Miller. No, but, you know, like, we know who that is.
Single-handedly
Yes,
rescued
exactly right.
Hanna-Barbera Empire.
So, like, those things definitely work. But, yeah, it makes me think, when I thought about it, I looked at this old photo of, like, a super handsome, like, extra handsome JFK wearing, like, these Ray-Bans on the back of the PT-109, no shirt on. It's like, this guy becomes, like, that square but handsome president that everybody likes, but like he's this guy who
very fun line.
Exactly right. And 20 years before he'd been, you know, in a firefight, and now he's like, you know, he's this guy like everybody else who had to like come to grips with life changing and just desperately wanting comfort and desperately wanting to just float through life. He couldn't because he had the biggest stressful job on the planet.
That was a thing.
But it's happening again, and maybe that's what people want in their politics, but political humor. Maybe they want the soft stuff now. I don't know.
I think this truly calls for an immediate decision on your part, sir.
Ev, you drive a hard bargain. But, okay, here's what I'll do. I'll sell you a boardwalk in Park Place with 2 hotels on it.
Halt! Who goes there? Oh, it's you. Go right ahead.
Hold it. Where are you going? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize you, sir.
Hey, no one is admitted beyond... Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know it was you.
Yes? Oh, it's you. What is it?
Can Caroline come out and play?
I'm sorry, young man, but she can't. She's in Italy with her mother.
Oh. Well, then, what's Lyndon doing?
I didn't know what I wanted. Mm-hmm. I was so enthralled. Yeah, I think maybe what I wanted I found out literally the night after he was elected in 2008, wherein we were just so like, fuck, change, man. We did it.
Right.
I still felt that way for years, well on through like, okay, well, there's actually a really bad economy thing going on right now, but the honeymoon was over the next night with that South Park episode, the very next night. Well, was he a McCain supporter or an Obama supporter? Well, all the McCain supporters are in here for injuries caused while trying to commit suicide, and all the Obama supporters are in here for partying too hard because we did it.
It's so good.
We made change happen. So that was, I think, a real good shot in the pills that we all needed then. But since then, I think of Luther the Anger Translator as like. At first, I was just like, "Oh, why? What is there to make fun of about Obama? Yeah. Nothing. He's perfect." But they're gonna do this. I don't really get it. I don't know. I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like you just pick up enough. Like, oh, I get it. Everybody gives him shit all the time, and he has to remain presidential.
Right.
So let's just have Keegan-Michael Key just let it up. Oh, okay, that's funny. Oh, and Jordan gets to do his great impression. Okay, this is funny.
You know, like I could do several episodes on Key and Peele and how like these guys would never have stood out to me on Mad TV because it looked like shit. It's a shitty looking TV show, and they're surrounded by crap people. Not to say that everybody ever worked on Mad TV was crap. I'm just saying it was a bad series of seasons that they were on there for, and like they get a nice camera, a good director, and they get to control the writing, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Really good because the visual aesthetic when they do a genre parody is what makes it. Yeah. And they pull I love hate it how accurate and great their pulls are. Sometimes they pull like a genre that you completely forgot about it, like a 90s hip hop video when they specifically have that 1994 like very loud bright pastel colors in disjointed patterns and the Jerry curls and they're doing like a breakdance circle and the sketch is just noise.
I love that.
No, I'm the guy who says noise. Well, we can't both say noise? No, just one noise.
And there's never been a sketch show that looks. I mean, I already kissed Peter Atencio's ass plenty about this, but like the director of the show, who's since left, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just left.
What do you do?
Season. I think it might be to do more. Will Forte show.
Last Man Standing. Last Man Standing.
Yeah, Last Man Standing.
It's Tim Allen and Will Forte.
Yes, exactly.
Last Man Standing.
Yeah, Last Man on Earth.
Well, Tim, there's can only be one of us.
But yeah, so anyway, he left the show, but it's a wonderful show. And then
there's the some of the writers. There's Colton Dunn and Rebecca Drysdale. People you see at UCB all the time. And I remember like 4 years ago, it was like post Mad TV. I saw Jordan Peele at UCB in a group who was winning Cage Match regularly. He'd play with them sometimes as a musical group, and you could just see it like what you can see now. You're like, sometimes I don't even know if they have a game of this sketch. Just give him this,
right,
and he can take your he can like build an energy like right away. He could just have like a fully fleshed out character where you can see something completely believable going on. And in a sketch show you have to reuse the same type, high status, low status, a lot, but it's still very varied. I think I give it up for props and costumes on that. That's what you do when you have the budget in a sketch show.
For sure.
Is you change your hairstyle as much, like Mitchell and Webb.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, good point. And it's a good comparison to draw, because that guy has range. And I'm not to say Von Meter didn't, but the only thing he knew as a successful guy, because it was so meteoric, was this thing that everybody loved. And like, what do I do now?
Now what do I do?
I don't have anything else. What the fuck do I do now? And there are two interesting continuations to this. Number one is that these guys, that Booker and Dowd, one of their continuations that they did in 1968 was called The New First Family. I had to look this up, and I need to find this.
I saw First Family Rides Again. I did not know about The New First Family.
The New First Family is a fiction as if Cary Grant were president. I don't know what they were thinking or what they were on at the time.
Did they recreate this picture?
They must have, because they did on Rides Again, except that
they did.
Literally Reagan's on a horse, if I remember correctly, on the cover of that one.
He's Ronald friggin' Reagan. Of course he's on a horse.
Right? Exactly.
What?
Rich
what?
Little.
What?
Yeah.
What? Wait a minute. First Family Rides Again was in the 70s.
Hold on. Because I think...
Did they do one during the Reagan era? Of Reagan?
81 is one.
Oh,
yeah, so
okay.
Give me 1 second. So first, but
then
then
it's like, was there enough material yet?
Right.
1 year in?
Yeah.
Except, because he was a movie star.
Yeah, exactly right. And starred with a monkey in several movies. That's going to happen. But then the other one that he tries to follow it up with in the late 60s is... Rides Again was 81, but he did one where, now if you can't do Kennedy anymore, and you're not, let's say you're not going to do politics, do you know
do Bobby, because that'll be fine.
Yeah, that'll work for another 6, 7, okay.
Ooh.
So
Bobby, directed by Emilio Estevez, great movie.
I've never seen that movie. I wanted to see it.
Was it actually just called RFK? I can't.
No, it was called Bobby. That was the name of it.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be all casual about it. But fuck, now First Family record. Now I have to look it up. But the other thing that he did is he does an album called The Second Coming, which is what if Jesus came back in the 60s. And that was the last comedy album he ever did.
Wait, Von Meter?
Von Meter.
He played Jesus?
Yeah.
That's what you do. Back. If you're on top of the freaking world right. as the guy playing the guy, and then
where do you go?
You play Jesus.
Exactly.
Because you can always play Jesus.
Yeah. But it failed miserably, unfortunately. Like everything he tried to do.
Like many times people try to play Jesus.
You know what I'm gonna... So the second one was
Jesus.
First Family Volume 2, which came out not long after this one, within less than a year, obviously.
The natural evolution never led to Second Family.
Right. Yeah, you would think. With...
yeah.
There are a few other, kind of rip-offs.
Well, I mean, because if you wanted to do LBJ, they were the Second Family first.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah.
Sure.
First they were second.
Right, but now...
And then they were first.
Yes, that's exactly.
If you're not first, you're last.
That's exactly right. I have no idea what you just said, but that's okay, right?
That's okay.
Yeah, so that was it. Yeah, 1981 was the first Family Rides again, and that was only Earl Dowd did that one. But they kept trying to. I have no idea what the success rate of that one was, but that was 81, which is not really the height of comedy albums. Like, this is it.
No,
this defined it. I mean, that's one thing about this. This defined an era of what comedy albums could be. Just unfortunately had that. It was just cut down. Bob Newhart had the benefit of doing an Abraham Lincoln sketch several years after he was dead, so
this
it's okay
is true.
on the button.
This is true.
I feel like, okay, what are your thoughts? I feel like despite this not being like my favorite comedy album of all time, and not having grown up with it, I feel like it maybe deserves a place on the wall. And I reserve it for either albums that influence me or are important. There are a couple here that
you need to consider. Like, I should keep this in mind when I think about the full scope of
exactly
what comedy on vinyl is.
These are up here just because they're signed, and they're also important. Actually.
Those are very important.
That
one is up there because it's signed.
And he was Prince and a great warrior. And the people of his country picked him to be their leader because he could protect them and lead them on to the new frontiers.
Tell me about when he had the trouble.
Well, Caroline, first he had trouble with the Steel Duke. And then all the money lords... Then all the money lords gave him trouble. And then all the other lords wanted to take his job away. But when he talked, everyone believed him. And he remained as their leader. Now, one day, the evil prince with the black beard from the island in the south and the terrible fat bear from the cold north came, and they tried to hurt the prince. But the prince was too smart, and he chased them away. So the handsome prince and all the people of his country lived happily ever after.
Oh, I was scared. But hooray for the prince. And thank you, Daddy. Good night.
Good night, Caroline. Good night.
These sessions do him so much good.
Pointing at the Jonah Ray album, that's
signed by
lovely.
Jonah and signed by Dave Clark. By the way, Jonah Ray, glad you're not dead. Had a dream that you died. So that's just a weird thing.
That happens.
Isn't that weird?
I had a dream once where Patton Oswalt stole my woman. I didn't even have a woman at the time. It was in my dream, the woman in my dream, who I was into, and I was like, of all people, right? I was just like, oh, he. I think he uses his influence as a celebrity is how he sort of struck up the conversation, and then hey, it's funny because he's just the nicest and most grateful guy for everything he's been given.
Yeah.
I think that's what my subconscious was trying to fuck with.
Yeah.
So I immediately I wanted to convey the full breadth of my experience in this dream to him, but I only had 140 characters, and about a dozen are wasted on just his tag.
Sure.
So he didn't respond. I don't know if he ever saw it, but so this is my second attempt to maybe communicate to him.
I stole your woman, bleep, blop, floopity-doo. Like, that's all I can picture. It's like, look what I'm doing.
So Patton Oswalt is now how we can do the Cosby impression.
Yeah, it kind of is. It basically was
flip, flop, boopity-boo.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, we got to transfer that somewhere, don't we? We need a comedian.
We need to do flip, flop, boopity-doo.
Yeah, all right.
It has nothing to do with one man and his... I don't even have a word for it. Just bad shit.
Bad shit. Yep.
It was
absolutely
some bad
right.
shit.
Yep. That's why.
But I still want to. There you go. There you go. Every Cosby impersonator, who by the way is everybody.
Yep.
Got fucked.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Good point.
But it's not about that. That's the thing. You couldn't say that.
Sure.
Because bad shit had happened.
Yeah. Exactly right.
Well, I'm doing a disservice to so many people who got taken advantage of, and I can already read the comments on this that are just like, that was very offensive, and it was undermining the entire. You know it. You insensitive prick.
So, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to look at these notes. First of all, this name, Bradley Bolke, is one of the Bolke. There are very few people still alive. Him. Another guy named Chuck McCann, who's also a big cartoon voice guy, Chuck McCann. He lives in L.A. I tried to get a hold of him to get him on the show at some point. This guy, I've got his fucking phone number. I'm half tempted to call him right now. Be like, hey, you're like 90. Do you want to, like, it would be really cool to talk to these people. So maybe some point we'll do a follow-up where we talk to the people who are still around who are on it. Cause,
yeah, we'll do the first Family Volume 2 and then we'll, on Comedy on Vinyl.
Yeah, we should do the Volume 2 because I have not heard it. And I don't know. I mean, it would be the same shit, and it would probably be just as delightful. That's a good way to describe it. It is one of those things where I wonder, like, were people too busy? Because I don't know. Were people too busy buying the Memorial album, which I'll find in a minute? Like, or were they? And then they're like, well, I got to replace this one with the other one because now I can't have good memories of that time. But I feel like people held on to it. Like I said, I go to estate sales, and one out of two, I would say 50%, if they've got comedy albums, have this album in there. So
I think you would be curious to try the later ones to see, like, I bet you the comedy is got to be at least, like, the level of comedy has got to be at least on a par.
I hope
it wasn't received as well, so you're not immediately like, I know this is good. It's probably, like, written pretty similarly.
Yeah.
The difference is, I think it's not just that, like, the album was so big. It's just you know more about day-to-day specifics of Kennedy than you do about LBJ or Carter or Ford or somebody. Wait. LBJ. I'm talking about 60s. I know this.
Yes.
Nixon.
Oh yeah. Oh,
you're wondering. I think Nixon. I think 72. So like 68 to 70. I don't know offhand. I think that was.
I fucking don't
Nixon.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But you think I don't know the specifics about the day to day, so I would wonder listening to the subsequent albums. I'm sure like you'd have just as many laughs as you didn't. But it'd be more interesting to say, like, are there more temporal? Yeah, cultural references of the time that I don't get than this one, because I already knew a little bit of this and that.
That makes sense.
Even though it's close, we're closer, we've moved further up. So I'd be curious to see that evolution.
That's a good point. We do know a whole lot more about them than we do about anybody who's come since, just by nature of them being so handsome.
Yeah, like, I couldn't even tell you, just by nature. Yeah, we're a celebrity culture.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you Gerald Ford's wife's name.
Fuck, I should know that, shouldn't I?
Should you?
I should. He was one of the vice presidents. Now, I'm not as interested in the guys who became president, but he wasn't elected president, so it's one of those things.
It was just one of those things.
I should know that. All I know about him is falling down, and that's what everybody's going to... Except that he had my same birthday. We shared a birthday, and he fell down a lot. So, that's Gerald Ford.
And that's Gerald Ford. Next week on A&E's biography.
And that he pardoned Nixon. I mean, that's...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that... What a son of, like...
well, what do you... Well, you gotta... I mean, you don't have to, but I mean,
it's like you only... Oh, my goodness gracious. You only get so many things to be known for, and you have to waste them on, like, just dealing with the guy before you's shit. Anyway, speaking of Obama...
Yes.
It's just what it reminded me of.
That was good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So here's what we do.
What do we do?
One of these days we'll have an episode where you come on and do the autobiographical thing, because you haven't really done one of those. You've only been on when we're talking to other people. Like, you kind of like co-hosted when we did Paul Zaloom.
Yeah, it was great.
You were there for the 100th episode, which was great.
Yeah.
And in this one, but we haven't done one where we talk about what makes Alex Salem tick.
This is your podcast? You would have an episode where you would ask what makes Alex Salem?
I think so.
Oh.
We have super famous people on the show and ask
well, see,
them
that's where I'd want to ask them. Like,
yeah.
I could answer those questions.
Sure you could.
If you, so I think that
you just got to be able to deal with the blowback. We're like, this kid's too young. I don't care. You got more to say. You had more to say today than I did. So
I've been dealing with blowback on that from you since we met, like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's because I don't like handsome young people who are also funny.
Well, if I find one, I'll let you know. All right.
Flippity floppity flip.
Patton Oswalt.
Such a great lover. He stole your woman. God, that's so mean. What a bastard.
I don't even think we were dating. I don't even think we'd gone out once. It was just like, had my sights set, and like in Dream World.
That's amazing.
We were gonna go to Dream Ice Cream.
Did that help you ever? Man, you should be like, Patton Oswalt just stole my girl, and maybe you could have gotten a date off.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. the sky was purple and we were flying.
All right, can you hand that to me real quick? Let's look at this real quick.
Yeah,
because,
let's take a little look-see.
Towards the end, I always like to recommend to people why to listen to it. I asked the guests to do it, but we both listened to this kind of fresh because I realized that I've maybe heard bits of this, but it's one of those that while I know that it's important, again, I never sat down to listen to it because it's so fucking ubiquitous. I'll get around to it. Disease is what I had. Like, people don't watch Citizen Kane because everybody's either I'll watch it or I don't need to because everybody references it all the time.
It took me like 10 years, and then when I did, I was like, oh, I've got to love this because it's really good. And I was like, oh, it's good.
Yeah.
And I would watch it again.
Well, that thing...
But ubiquitous, I'll get around to it, Disease. Everybody has it.
The whole... I did with Citizen Kane the opposite, though. I was 10, and I'm like, this is supposed to be an important movie. Mom, can I watch Citizen Kane? So I sat down and watched Citizen Kane, got 0 of it, remembered a lot of the very striking images, and then next time I saw it was in college. And
yeah, like I read Catcher in the Rye when I was 12 and had the same experience. Like, this is a thing I'm supposed to read. I'm going to be very impressive at parties.
You were such a... Wait, what's he called?
I was such a
phony.
deep voice. I was a phony.
For reading it. At 12. Von Meter, who first came to nationwide attention via the Talent Scouts television show during the summer of 1962, which, by the way, this was recorded not long after that, right?
Yeah, no.
Was the subject of a major story in Life magazine. Ooh, there's a place down the street that sells old Life magazines. It would be cool to find.
I bet. Oh, I bet.
Oh, there's a headliner.
Are you talking about the Movie World store?
Yes.
Yeah.
Their shit is so... I love their stuff. It's
just aisles and aisles.
Yes, Naomi Brussard makes her recording debut on this album. Naomi has played in Little Theater, has been a model, and was one of New York's fabulous Copa girls. So she was a dancer. I mean, but she's great. I really like her a lot on this. But if you're gonna listen to it because it's important. And it's important because...
and you will enjoy it.
I think it outsold Bob Newhart at that point. I mean,
really?
Bob Newhart's is at this point still one of the highest selling albums of all time still. But I think for a period there, it probably outsold Bob Newhart just because of the subject matter and because people are like, oh my god, people can do an impression of this guy that we love and is great and is in our homes all the time, you know?
And, like when any character-based comedy movie comes out, everybody thinks they can do the voice as well 100%. And at parties and whatnot.
God, is that... Somebody needs to do a study on what's the most ubiquitous... Oh, God, it'd be Walken. Never mind.
It is Walken. It is understood. It is known. It is fact.
Yep. Yeah, it's Christopher fucking Walken. All right. I answered my own goddamn question. But it might as well.
Isn't that more satisfying than having the teacher answer it for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. So listen to this because it's important. It holds an historical... Yeah. It's important for a number of reasons. And if only to just appreciate that this guy put all this work into it and then fucking... became a drug addict.
And then it was the stakes, the consequences on his life. Also, listen to this album because I don't know, maybe I'm watching mostly online sketches where they're clawing for your attention, or I'm watching Family Guy or South Park most of the time, or I don't watch the 3-camera sitcom so much, but this is like an anthology of vignettes in like 3-camera sitcom tone about, but it's got like that little level of satire, but it's not too deep. It doesn't cut at all. It's just just that like first surface level. But listen to it to just change up the comedic tone that you're used to in this climate, in this modern comedic climate.
That's as good a recommendation as any. I like that. Alex, where can people find you online?
They can find me online on Twitter at the Alex Salem.
You're constantly changing your name on there. Your actual name, not your Twitter handle.
Yeah, no, the handle's got to stay the same.
Of course, but the Alex Salem.
The Alex Salem. And every other Saturday at the Clubhouse in Los Feliz for the show Danger Room, hosted by my improv team, Harvey Rocket Ship.
That's good.
Bi-weekly improv. And of course, always once a month at a drinking game.
Of course.
Drinkinggame.com.
Yes.
On Facebook at a drinking game. Jason, where can people find you online?
Oh, thanks so much for asking, Alex.
Yeah, I really want to
know. You can find me at jklamm, JKLAMM, on the Twitter. You can find me at jasonklamm.com, stolendress.com, listen to my other podcasts, all that shit.
That good shit.
Go to danandjay.com if you want to listen to my weird podcast where we talk about my old sketch comedy from when I was 13.
That's an autobiographical series.
Oh, yeah.
Where you two ask each other, who is Jason?
Exactly right. We both talk about me the whole time. That's basically what it is. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun. We rarely talk about our sketches. Like, for 5 seconds, we'll talk about them. And then we bullshit, and we drink. There's a lot of drinking. There's no drinking on this show. There should be. We should try it sometime.
You're doing everything but drinking whiskey. You've got all the rest of it there.
Yeah, it does. It did look good. It looked like that's what I was trying, but no.
It did.
Follow us at Comedy on Vinyl. That's about it.
And watch out for Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll steal your fucking woman. Like, God damn it. Thanks for being here, Alex.
Thank you for having me, Jason.
Thank you guys for listening. Seek out this album. It was 50 fucking cents. Buy it. And as always, have a good thing. Comedy on Vinyl is a production of Stolen Dress Entertainment. It is produced by Mike Warden and is hosted and edited by Jason Klom. Our theme song was composed and performed by Richard Levinson. Please visit stolendress.com to listen to our other podcasts, read our blogs, read our tweets, watch our videos, and read our books. Please subscribe on iTunes, and if you like us, give us a 5-star rating and a nice review. You can find us on facebook.com/comedyonvinyl, Twitter @comedyonvinyl, and find everything else at comedyonvinyl.com.